All available experts, please report to room A9.
Hello guys, Exeter here, and welcome to Mixometer. This is what the module will look like, and the aim of the module will be to set this to a code defined by the buttons, and then pressing the submit button. Of course, as we can see here, there's not an obvious submit button, so our first plan is figuring out what these buttons do. There will be one button which is the report button, which is basically our submit button, and then the other buttons will turn 1, 2, 3, or 4, all 4 of the dials. So before we start, let's press each button once and see what you can do and note it down. So the first button flips 3 of the dials. The second button flips all 4 of them. The middle button flips 2 of them. The fourth button gives us a fake strike, so that's our report button. And then the last one will flip 1 of them. And now, what is the code we're going to be inputting? So in the order of what buttons did what, the one that flipped 1 is going to be the first. Basically, the button that flipped 1, being the last one, we're going to look in this sort of diagram thing at the 5th position button, and then look at the arrow that's on that button to find our digit. So the first digit is going to be a 6. Now going to the button that had 2, that's the third button. We're going to go to the 3rd position, and then the arrow is pointing down, so we're going to go down. Second digit is 3. The one that flipped 3 was 1, and the direction is right, so 4.
Cleared. All personnel,
and finally,
return to your stations.
The button that flipped all 4 of them was the second button, and it's pointing down left, so our button digit is 0. This is the value we're going to be trying to submit. But how do we do that if they're spinning multiple dials at once? Well, it's similar to if you've done something like Dual Vault. These, I think, are set out that you can flip. The one that flips all 4 will have one different to the one that flips 3, which will have one different to the one that flips 2, and have one different one that flips 1. Similar to how in Dual Vault, each one will flip the next one down, so you can just find an order to do it in. It's the same here. So let's see which one turns which when we press the 1. When we press the 1 dial button, we get the third one moving. So the third one is the last one we're going to set. Go to the 2 one. We're going to set the 4th one before that, because this one turns the 3rd one, which we're setting last. And then the one that's different between them is the 4th one. The 3 button one, we're going to see what's different between that one. We're going to be saying the first digit, second, and then, because it's the other one left over, we're going to be saying the second digit first. So using the 4 dial button, this being this one, we're going to set our second digit to where it needs to be 3. Now moving to the 3-digit button, we're going to be setting the first digit 6. Going to our 2 value one will be these 2. We're going to set the 4th digit to 0. And finally, we're going to use our final button, which only turns the 3rd one, to set it to where it needs to be, which is 4. And then we press the report button when we go to this value, and we get self-module. Let's do that again. So once again, we're going to first go across each one to figure out the functions. 3, 1, 4, report, 2. So let's do that again. Let's first figure out what order we're going to be setting the values in. So the one that's had 1 means 3 is going to be last, followed by 1, followed by 2, and then we're going to be saying the 4th one first. And now let's find what values you need to be. The first digit is going to be the second diagram here, pointing down left, 0. Second one is going to be the 5th one, pointing up, which is 0. The third one is going to be the first position, pointing right, so that's 4. And finally, the 4th digit is going to be the third position, because that's where the 4 was, and pointing up, which is what the button is doing. So we're going to be setting it to 0041 in the order of the 4th digit and the 2nd digit and the 1st digit and the 3rd digit. So starting with the 4 digit one, let's set the 4th digit to 1. Then we're going to be setting the 2nd digit to 0. Then we're going to be setting the 1st digit to 0. And then we're going to be setting the 3rd digit to 4, which is what it is, so we can press the report button and get another module. Let's do that one more time. Functions, 2, report, 1, 3, 4. Order will be 2 last, 4 before that, 3 before that, and then 1 first. If you can't tell what I'm doing, that is, I'm just going through each one and finding which one is different from the previous one, apart from the first one, because it's the only one that's span. And now let's find what these values are going to be. So the first digit is going to be the 3rd position, pointing to the right, which is 0. Second one is going to be the 1st position, pointing up right, 6. The 3rd one is going to be the 4th position, pointing up left, 7. And then the 4th position is going to be the 5th one, pointing down right, which is 2. And now going in order of this, we're going to use the 4 button to set the 1st digit to 0. Then the 3 button to set the 3rd digit to 7. Then we'll be using the 2 button to set the 4th digit to 2. And then using the 1 button to set the 2nd digit to 6. And then pressing the report button. And we get our submodule. So that was Mixometer. Hopefully the module makes a bit more sense now. Just to recap it, you would have to figure out first what the buttons do, then what order you need to set the values in. You can technically do that after everything else if you want. Finding out what the values are given the directions on the buttons that correspond to the amount of dials the ordinal part of it, the order that they're going to be in, is the amount of dials they spin. So if it's 1 dial, it's the first digit, 2 dials, the 2nd digit, 3rd digit is 3 dials, and 4 digits all 4. So hopefully this tutorial made a bit enough sense. See you guys in the next tutorial. I'll see you later.